Hi guys, welcome to another video. This is going to be a talking video. So I want to bring a series of talking videos about different aspects of traveling solo as a woman over 40 or in your 50s or 60s. So welcome everyone. Is solo travel safe? This is the number one question that I get asked every time I say I'm going somewhere on my own, or I let people know that I'm traveling on my own, or I've been somewhere on my own. Also, some of the destinations that I've been to, people are always like, well, it's not safe to go there. You shouldn't go there. Why are you going there? Why are you not there with somebody? And if you're not confident, you could end up talking yourself out of going on a trip on your own, particularly when it's so difficult. You know, we're grown women, we've got so much on, we got the kids, we got our house, some of us are working, we got work, we're trying to stay fit, we're sorting out the kids and all their needs. So probably even sorting out parents. So there's a lot going on, and it's hard sometimes to coordinate with our other friends to get time that we can go off together without the children, without the family. Because when you go away with the family, I found you're actually just in a different destination doing the same thing. And this is one of the really big reasons why I solo travel. I want to get away and do things on my own. So the safety aspect for me, yeah, it could be nerve-wracking. You haven't been somewhere before, but with the right precautions, you can absolutely travel on your own, even if you've got family, even if you've got children, even if you've got a partner. I think every woman should travel solo at some point. And these are the strategies that I use to help me navigate a new place, do it confidently, have fun, meet other people there. I say you can travel solo, but you're never actually lonely. So let's get into some of the strategies that I use to support my safety while I travel abroad on my own. And I've traveled to 40 different countries now, 82 different cities. Now that I have even less time with family and home and work and everything, I try to get as many different destinations in a single trip as I can. So within reason, I try to fit in different cities, different countries. If they're really nearby, I try to fit that in. And I've done that all on my own. Most of the destinations that I've traveled, and I'm still here to tell the tale. So it is safe, but you just have to be practical, pragmatic about how you go about it. So I want to let you know how some of the things that I've done, and I will talk you through some of the things that I've done to stay safe, and some of the things as well you might want to consider for your first solo trip, especially if you haven't been abroad away by yourself and you really want to. Then these are the strategies that I use to protect myself, to protect my well-being, and to make sure that I have a good time on a trip. So, let's be realistic. I'm not going to tell you that, traveling anywhere around the world isn't without risk. There's risk where you live in your hometown, in your city right now. As with anywhere in the world, there are risks. And what you can do is minimize those risks just as you would in your hometown. There might be certain areas you wouldn't want to go. There might be certain times that you wouldn't want to be out. All of these common sense things that we all know about. And being over 40 as well, we're a bit more discerning, I feel. We're a bit more conscious and aware of the different dangers that might exist, and are able to navigate that and just stay within your comfort zone, not overly trusting anyone that you meet. And taking those steps. There are some countries that are perceived to be very, very dangerous. Like I've went to South Africa. I went to South Africa twice, and the second time I went to Cape Town and Johannesburg. Everybody was saying Johannesburg is so dangerous. There's so many murders. We've seen it in the news. Something's going to happen to you. I'm like, there's millions of people that are living there every day. They're not all dying every day. So it must be particular places, particular groups, there might be criminal groups or whatever. And so if you don't stay in those areas, your risk is significantly reduced. Just as with you would be in your country, there may be certain areas that have high crime that you would want to avoid. As well as when I went to Johannesburg, I stayed in a nice area, but I also took precautions, and the hotel was also very supportive. So that's the other thing that I would say: make sure you stay in reputable places. I put my safety over money. I will stay in a central, well established, well known, reputable hotel rather than staying in a cheaper Airbnb to save some money, because now somebody knows that I'm in an Airbnb by myself. I want to stay in a hotel that has got a good reputation and is central, that I'm not in, some far out outskirts area where you're walking at night or in the evening. Then, you wouldn't be doing that, so that you don't stand out and people don't think that, this person is walking around at this hour. They know that you're not from around here. So that, those are some of the things that I bear in mind. What is it like? What amenities do I have available to me? Is the taxi safe? Does the hotel put on transport? When you come in as well from a destination into the airport, when you come in, I always look for hotels as well that provide transfer. So I always book transfer. I try to arrive in the daytime, and I always book my first transfer until I get to know the area that I'm in and I feel like I can navigate it on my own, like use a public transport or taxis, etc. I always pre-book my transfer on arrival. I try to arrive in the daytime. It doesn't always work out that I arrive in the daytime, but I do try to arrive in the daytime. But I always book my first transfer from the airport, because again, I've never been there. So I don't want to start going around navigating some place that I've never been and I've never not had any instructions. There's a few places that I probably could do that. Like I've been to Portugal several times. I've been to Spain. I can use their public transport. Germany is so efficient. I can use their public transport no problem and get around, even if I haven't been to that city before. So those are sort of exceptions rather than rules. But even if I went to America or I went to, some other places in Europe that I'm not familiar with, I would always book transfer when I arrive. One of the other strategies as well, one of the other things that I do when I'm on holiday on my own, I don't let everybody know that I'm traveling on my own. Even at home, I don't let too many people know that because again, it's not only your safety when you're abroad, it's also the safety of your place that you've left. So I don't even let people know that I'm not at home. So because there has been cases where people have said, have let people know that they're lost, so they know that their house is empty, and so they got robbed. I think that happened to a celebrity or something like that. So I don't let anybody know in real time that I'm away. I maybe in the last day before I actually get back, I might start maybe putting something on social media to say that I'm away, or hinting, but I never actually explicitly say I'm away and I'm away such and such dates. Never say that. So it's only a select few close family members that I would let know that I'm away at any given point and for how long, and when I'm back, so that they can keep an eye on things and help me keep an eye on things. But again, I don't let every man and sundry. I don't let people at work know. I don't let extended family know. I don't let, social media know. And when I'm on holiday as well, I don't let people know on holiday. Of course, the hotel might know that I've booked a room on my own. That's a given. But I don't let people that I've met there know. And one thing that I do while I'm on holiday, I lie. I lie. I don't normally lie, but on holiday, I lie. People asking me who I'm with and what am I doing here and am I alone? No, I'm meeting somebody soon. Or no, my partner's back at the hotel. Or no, my friends live here, so I'm just visiting and just sightseeing during the day and I'm meeting them later. I lie. You don't know anybody the truth when you are on holiday, especially strangers. You don't know anybody the truth. Asking you where you're staying, no, I tell them the exact opposite, or some maybe 5-star hotel that I'm not staying at, that is completely out of the area that I'm staying. I don't tell anyone that I'm alone. I try to act as if I'm confident. opportunists do prey on people who don't seem confident, and they can sense that. So you need to have your answers ready. I'm waiting on my partner. I'm visiting family here and I'm just sightseeing at the moment and I'm meeting them later. My friend is a bit ill. She's at the hotel. She's expecting me. I've got to go now because I'm not feeling so well. When you feel uncomfortable in a situation or you feel somebody's prying too much, you do not owe them the truth. You can lie to protect yourself. And if you feel uncomfortable in any type of situation, just quietly remove yourself. Oh, I've got to make a call. I told somebody I got to make a call. Oh, no, I'm not feeling very well now. I got to go. I've got something planned that I need to get to by. Those are the sort of things that I say. And because I've used those so much, it just comes off my tongue. I am relaxed. Again, I don't want you to view traveling on your own as this really high anxiety thing and get yourself into a high anxiety. That is not the aim, because then you can't enjoy your holiday when you're like that. So I do have these things ready and I've used them enough times, and I've read the room, trust my instinct, trust my gut. If I feel somebody's prying a bit too much more than just chit chat, high level conversation, then I'm sensing that you want to know a bit too much, and I pull back, I don't say anything, and then I make my exit. And it doesn't really put off my holiday. There are more, by and large, people are good. I've had mostly good experiences. I've not had any bad experiences that I can say that stands out in my head, because I am so excited about being in that new destination and enjoying what that new destination and culture has to offer. Any little mishaps or negative thing that has happened, I don't even remember, because that doesn't define my holiday. Again, that is one of the things about protecting my energy while on holiday, is another safety aspect, because you have to look after your mind, your mental well-being, as well as your physical well-being, and have yourself in a really good place. So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, and one of the beauties about solo traveling, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed with things and you want to just take a day out doing nothing, you can do that. If you've booked something and you can't move it or whatever, say la vie, it's gone. I don't really feel like stepping out today. I can stay in. And that is your prerogative. Don't feel like because you're on holiday, you have to go out all the time. But on the same token, don't feel that because you're in a resort, maybe all inclusive or something, and you don't have to go out and explore with, with vigilance, basically. Not on high alert, but be aware of your surroundings and the people that are around you, so that you could actually take it in. Because for me, and again, different strokes for different folks, if you like just staying in a resort and that suits you fine, then that's fine, and that's absolutely beautiful for your holiday. But I like to really get out there, explore, meet people, and some of the best people and friends that I've made have been while I've been solo traveling. So those are some of the things that I use. I don't tell everybody that I'm away. I stay in central places and locations and reputable hotels. I don't stay in Airbnbs and guest house on my own. I try to arrive in the daytime, and I always book transfer to my destination. I always have my destination on Google Maps as well and download it, so that I'm not relying on somebody else taking me somewhere and I have no idea where I'm going. I don't tell, I have my exit strategies, my lies that I tell to get out of situations or when people are prying. So I don't let them know that I'm there on my own. If I read the room and I feel that they're prying too much, I don't let people know where I'm staying as well. And I also, at home, I don't post on in real time online, and I don't let people that are not my close family know that I'm away from home in real time. So, only a select few of people. So those are some of the strategies that I use to stay safe. I only use reputable organizations as well if I'm doing tours or anything like that. I don't go off with somebody that I've met just that day, unless it's a group excursion that is pre-planned by a company. I would not be going off with people on a whim. And I think when you're a woman over 40 or into your 50s or 60s, you are a bit more discerning about these things. And I was young once, and we did do silly things. But at this age, we're grown, and we're not gonna be taking silly risks going off with people that we don't know. Again, it's about reading the room and trusting your gut and your instinct about things. And it is good to ask locals for recommendations and things like that, and then you independently check it out yourself, to see if it would fit with the type of holiday that you want. Another thing as well of note in terms of safety, you're more likely to encounter petty crime than sort of overt physical harm, i.e. petty crime, pickpocketing, maybe a switch with a when you're buying something, where they don't give you the real thing, and small things like that, taking your phone. So there's things that you can do. I always use a body wallet. So this it's almost like a bum bag, but it's very flat, and that is strapped inside of my clothes. So I don't have my backpack on my back while I'm walking around with a map in my hand and I'm staring all over into space. That is blaring, I'm a tourist, come and take advantage. So I don't do that. I keep my valuables, money, passport, and I do keep my passport with me. Safes are not safe unless you got a secure lock in your room. I have everything on me that I absolutely need to get out of that country, so I don't need to go back to the hotel. So that's another reason as well. I keep my documents on me. Another reason as well, in some countries, cloning passports or selling passport information is big business, and they will, I've had my passport cloned before, by someone, and I had hell over years because I went through several extra checks whenever I traveled, to check that my passport was the real person on the passport. So I was always held up on in the airport. I was always interrogated. There was always double checking with the home office of my country where I came from. It was a pain. And it lasted several years before those extra checks got, taken off, and they did find the person that cloned my passport. So for ever since then, I am very, very wary, and I keep it with me, like I said, on a body wallet that's on a belt, but the belt is inside my clothes, so nobody's reaching that easily. I don't carry money or anything on my backpack. I don't have my bags sitting on the floor because somebody could come next to a table and just swipe it without you even knowing. Everything I need must always be inside, and I have documents on me that if I need to exit left, if I need to get out of that country, I have everything I need, which is whatever little cash and my cards, my documentation, and any valuables. I also don't take too many valuables with me. I know some people like to, then what, you're on holiday, you want to dress up, you want to put on your nice things, and all that is great, but you're also attracting attention to yourself. How do the locals normally dress? What is sort of the level? If you're going to a nice fancy restaurant, or you're going to a nice bar or something, of course you want to put on something nice. But anything that I deem that is very valuable, I would not take that with me on holiday, because now I'm calling attention to myself. I would not wear that around, on the daily. I know everybody wants to do the Instagram, the pictures, and all the rest of it, but no, I don't take anything that like I said, if I need to just go straight to the airport without going back to my room, I can do that at any given point when I'm on holiday. And, I always enjoy wherever I go. So I hope that helps. That is how I've navigated solo travel so far, and I really think that with those precautions in place, you can enjoy anywhere. And like I said, it isn't risk free, but with the right mindset, you can certainly navigate it. Your mental safety is just as important as your physical safety. So those are the strategies that I would employ. I hope you find that very useful. If you'd like me to touch on any particular subject, or you want to ask me about a particular destination that you're thinking of going to, and I can give you my honest opinion about it, just drop some information in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to respond. And if you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to this channel, because I really want to encourage and inspire more women, more grown women to travel more, to see the world, because the world is such a big place and it would be such a shame to have not experienced more than where you live, and to experience it in a real, authentic way that suits you and your style. And I want to encourage more women to do that. This solo travel, it could be one way of you pouring back into yourself. So thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.